Hello and welcome back. Today I wanted to kind of reflect on the past and talk about something that sometimes I forget is the case, even though it's only been 2 years. Actually, when you think about it, 2 years is a pretty decently long period of time. And I know you're like, Michelle, spill it, what are you talking about? Well, actually, you probably clicked on this video because you saw the title, so let's go ahead and let's just put the elephant out on the table, okay? I quit Facebook 2 years ago, almost exactly. It was in the month of January of 2017 when I quit Facebook officially. I thought now was a better time than ever to talk about what it's like to be without Facebook, because I know most of you have probably never gone more than a day or two without Facebook. I was one of those people who knew somebody who had a Facebook back when you had to invite people. You had to get an email invitation from someone to even be able to create a Facebook account. Well, that person was younger than me and I was in 8th grade, and you weren't even supposed to have an account till you were at least like in high school or something. So I think I lied about my age when I originally created my Facebook account. I mostly used it for keeping in touch with the people that I knew in school because they were pretty much the only people I knew. But the next 2 years, Facebook really gained a lot of popularity. I'm talking like 2007, 2008 is when this all started, and Facebook started getting really popular during that time. Back when you could like post on people's walls and draw a little graffiti on people's walls. Do you remember that graffiti? That thing was my favorite thing ever. I had this account, and at some point I decided to treat it like my MySpace and just try to get a bunch of friends. You may have heard me talk about this, you may be new to my channel, but I have moved around a lot. And I have gone to a lot of different schools. By proxy, I knew a lot of people. So I went and added anybody I even remotely remembered or used a yearbook to find throughout my entire schooling life. And I will tell you, at some point, I had over 1,000 friends on Facebook. No, they were not all my friends. I still only got like 3 to 5 to 15 likes on a post maximum, and I could not understand why people did not like my posts. I thought I was a worthwhile person, but at the same time I didn't. I really had low self-esteem at this time. I had a friend who was really into social media. She took a lot of pictures of me at all the events that we went to together. I was pretty obsessed with taking pictures of myself, putting it on Facebook, trying to get that like love from people that you get when you post things on Facebook. There were some really bad things that happened because of Facebook. The main thing was I created false friendships that were purely online, that did not have any kind of backing. I didn't feel like talking to them in real life, calling them up on the phone. Video chat would have been out of the question completely. I was not confident, and I used Facebook to supplement my lack of self-confidence. I went to college, made some friends. They all continued in college. I dropped out after a semester because of money, and let's not talk about that before I get upset. Facebook became my only way of connecting with the outside world for quite a while. Right after I got out of college, dropped out. Facebook used to be the only way that I interacted with people. I had like an online relationship. It really wasn't healthy for either of us, and we realized that a few months later and we stopped it. We had like a quasi relationship through Facebook. It was just not a good idea for either of us, but we were both kind of lonely and we needed someone to talk to, and that was what Facebook gave us. Another thing that Facebook gave me was an ability to stalk people, to watch their every move and know everything about them all the time. Not healthy either. And finally, the thing that I hated the most about Facebook was the fake news. I noticed through Facebook that people would only read the article title and then repost it without actually reading anything. And I was one of those people, just like stupid things that like clearly are not true. Chocolate helps you lose weight, but they're getting posted, they're getting reposted, and everyone's getting into it. I believe In 2015, I wrote a paper about how media obstructs truth and how it gets in the way of actually knowing what is true. And that's when I really started taking a step back from social media in general, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. But it wasn't until I moved to Washington. It was during that time in Washington when I was working at a restaurant and I was starting to see clearly, most clearly in my entire life, how people used Facebook to keep tabs on people, to not really learn anything and to have a superficial knowledge of things and to not really build relationships but to have quasi-relationships. And you would not believe, actually you probably would, because you might even be one of these people, but at work so many people would say, did you see what so-and-so said on Facebook, or did you see such and such on Facebook, and blah 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 Facebook. And Facebook was a huge part of every conversation, and I hated it, and I just hated how addicted I was and how much I needed it for my own self-confidence, and how it made people stalk others, and how it made people not want to actually get to know people, and how people would post things just to get other people to interact with it. And I think it was probably a few months after the creation of that interaction choices. You remember you could either just like or comment, and then they added laughing, hearts, sad, etc. It was a few months after they added that I actually quit Facebook. I'll admit, it was hard. It was hard to quit Facebook. I wanted to open it up every day. I wanted to check what people had said to me, what people had sent to me, what people were writing on my walls. I wanted to be able to scroll through the feed, and it was hard. It was really hard at first, and then eventually it became a lot easier. I will say that I have since supplemented it for other social media like YouTube especially. But here's the thing, with YouTube, I'm having conversations about subjects I want to actually talk about. On Facebook, there are people that know you, there are people that are in your vicinity, and the people in your vicinity don't always have the same interests as you do. Facebook kind of just was not healthy for me. I would recommend taking a break from it. But let's talk about the struggles of not having Facebook in these last 2 years. Number one, some people only have groups on Facebook. They're like, add me on Facebook. And I'm like, I don't have one. I don't use Facebook. Can we email? And they're like, I don't want to give you my personal email. Another thing that happened since I stopped having Facebook, I have no idea what's happening politically 90% of the time. You know how the government was, or still is, shut down? I don't actually know the status. The only reason I knew the government was shut down was a week after it started, because my friend was talking to me about it. And I had no idea. Had I had Facebook, I would have known immediately. I'm really not up to date on things, and I don't really like news anyway. I don't really like keeping up on it. Sometimes I'll feel an urge to kind of learn about what's going on, and other times I just know how it's all manipulating you to have certain viewpoints, and it's really hard to pull the truth from the manipulation when it comes to reading news. Feels weird when people say, hey, I saw this on Facebook, or hey, let me send you this thing that's on Facebook, and I can't view it because I can't log in and look at it. Not having access to those pictures from Facebook can be sometimes sad. Sometimes I want to look at them, but my brother passed away about 5 years ago, and one of the only ways that I have pictures of him is through Facebook. I will admit, I have logged on to get pictures of him. Yes, I have. But I didn't interact or anything. I didn't want anyone to think that I was active on my Facebook again. I don't have any desire to get that kind of interaction. If people want to talk to me, they'll find a way to talk to me. I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on YouTube. I'm just not on Facebook, and I don't think I ever will be back on Facebook. You might say, hey, that's hypocritical as heck. You have all these other social media things. No, but here's the thing. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm glad I don't have Facebook, and I'm happier without it. I don't need to be on Facebook to be part of these groups. There are other ways, and just because Facebook makes it easier doesn't mean that it's the best way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have any of you taken hiatuses or actually quit Facebook? Do any of you not have a Facebook? I still can't believe it's 2 years, but whew, I'm glad. I'm really glad, and I look forward to another 2 years without it. What? Anyway, I will see you guys on my next video. Have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, fantastic day.